Do as he tells you. I'm as tall as Tom. He acted as my guide. She acted as a guide. She's as busy as Tom. We sang as we walked. He acted as our guide. He runs as fast as you. Let him do as he likes. Try as hard as you can. Eat as much as you like. Jim runs as fast as Ron. I'm not as rich as I was. It was just as I thought. She's not as old as Mary. Take as many as you want. This was meant as a joke. Tom is not as old as you. He's almost as tall as me. I can swim as well as you. He ran as fast as he could. He used me as a guinea pig. I like this house as it is. I regarded Tom as a friend. I'll act as a guide for you. Take as much as you want to. They addressed me as doctor. You are as white as a sheet. He acts as if he were a king. He can speak Russian as well. He is twice as old as she is. He nodded to me as he passed. She disguised herself as him. She's well known as a singer. Tom is as tall as his father. Tom isn't as old as he looks. I wish I were as young as you. It is not as good as it looks. My son is now as tall as I am. She hired him as a programmer. Can you swim as fast as he can? He's about the same age as you. I'll help you as much as I can. She's about the same age as me. As a child, Bob lived in Boston. As far as I know, he isn't lazy. He is not as tall as his father. Japan is not as large as Canada. Please stay as long as you wish. She hired him as an interpreter. He has the same camera as I have. I can't sing as well as Mary did. I've got as much money as he has. She acted as if she knew nothing. She cried as she read the letter. She has the same bag as you have. She's about the same age as I am. Take as many cookies as you want. Take as many peaches as you like. You can stay as long as you like. You may talk as much as you like. He speaks as if he were an expert. Keep your room as neat as you can. The boy talks as if he were a man. Dr. White acted as our interpreter. He bowed to me as he left the room. He came in just as I was going out. He's about the same age as you are. His room is twice as large as mine. I can't play tennis as well as Tom. I'm not as healthy as I used to be. Lend him as much money as he needs. Please speak as clearly as you can. She gave him money as well as food. She's about the same height as you. She's as good a cook as her mother. Tom can ski as well as his brother. You talk as if you knew everything. He earns 3 times as much as I do. I plan to get a job as soon as I can. She has about as many stamps as I do. He works as hard as any other student. I acted as a simultaneous interpreter. I acted as interpreter at the meeting. I don't eat as much meat as I used to. Nancy went to London as well as Paris. She stood as close to him as she could. Tom is as tall as any boy in our class. He is not as smart as his older brother. I plan to leave Boston as soon as I can. Tom can speak German as well as English. We'll start as soon as it stops raining. He entered the bank disguised as a guard. He left the room as soon as I entered it. She liked Charles as soon as she met him. This novel isn't as good as his last one. As soon as she saw me, she started to cry. I will lend you as much money as you want. She acted as if she knew nothing about it. Tom works as hard as any boy in the class. All of us want to live as long as possible. He ran as fast as his legs could carry him. I started liking Mary as soon as I met her. I want to keep my room as neat as possible. Jane gave me the same present as Wendy did. As far as I know, he has never come on time. As soon as she saw me, she burst out crying. She greeted him cheerfully as she always did. They regarded him as the best doctor in town. As far as I know, they always keep their word. As soon as she opened the door, a cat ran out. As soon as we sat down, she brought us coffee. I will write letters to you as often as I can. I'll be with you as soon as I finish this job. My teacher told me to read as much as I could. Please send me a letter as soon as you arrive. She acted as if she didn't care what happened. As soon as I can afford to buy a house, I will. I would appreciate a reply as soon as possible. My friend Tom has twice as many stamps as I do. She is trying to save as much money as she can. She started kissing him as soon as he got home. I've made the same mistakes as I made last time. I will never forget your kindness as long as live. I'll never forget your kindness as long as I live. If you can't make it, call us as soon as possible. I want you to write to me as soon as you get there. Let's leave things as they are until he comes back. I plan to buy a new car as soon as I can afford one. Will you send someone to fix it as soon as possible? I can't believe you weren't as impressed as I was. She walked as fast as she could to catch up with him. They stopped talking as soon as I came into the room. She grows flowers such as tulips, pansies and daisies. She watched him continue to fight as hard as he could. As soon as I can get the chance, I'll come for a visit. As soon as I find it, I'll bring it over to your place. As soon as the child saw his mother, he stopped crying. Be sure to drop us a line as soon as you get to London. He listened to the news on the radio as he fed his dog. You don't get up as early as your older sister, do you? I will send you a copy of this picture as soon as I can. 400 million people speak English as their first language. I don't know about the others, but as for me, I'm for it. As soon as I can get the chance, I'll send you some money. Tom is not a lazy boy. As a matter of fact, he works hard. As soon as it stopped raining, a beautiful rainbow appeared. She'd like him to get in touch with her as soon as possible. As soon as I can afford it, I plan to travel around the world. As we ate our meal, we talked about what we had done that day. He was disappointed that things didn't turn out as he'd hoped. She greets him every morning as he enters the school building. The ancient Greeks knew as much about the solar system as we do. You can go out, as long as you promise to be back by 11 o'clock. Tom isn't the only one who has to study. I have to study as well. As soon as I can figure out how to send money, I'll send you some. I shouldn't have used the word password as my password. I suggest that you go and see a doctor about this as soon as you can. As soon as I can get the chance, I'll help your mother paint the fence. Are you seriously thinking about pursuing a career as a race car driver? Last year, I couldn't spend as much time with my children as I wanted to. I've spent so many years as chairman that I feel it's time I stepped down. She hired him as an interpreter because she had heard that he was the best. A few years ago, on Mother's Day, I gave my stepmother a locket as a present. As soon as I can get a decent video camera, I'll start making videos to put online. I spend as much time working in the garden in one day as my brother does in a week. As soon as I can get my son to scan our family photos, I'll upload some of them to our website.